Hello, everyone. You are about to hear a brief retelling of the movie Prisoners of Cleveland. Its plot is based on real events. Michelle Knight has asked her mother to look after her son while she looks for work. The girl was about to get a job at a laundromat. But then it turned out that she had not finished school, and the manager turned her down. Michelle came home late that night to find her son playing with a bottle of alcohol. Instead of his mother at home, she found Joey's father throwing the child against the wall in a drunken stupor. After that incident, the social worker became suspicious that the child would be safe with Michelle, and he was taken away from her. After a while, Michelle tells her friend Emily that in 2 weeks, Joey could be back with her. Her friend is picked up by her father Ariel Castro. Michelle has to get to court today, but her mother let her down and didn't pick her up. So the girl had to walk. At some point she got lost. The clerk at the store could not direct her to the address. But Ariel responded. According to him, it was another 45-minute walk to the courthouse. Michelle won't make it, and today her son's fate is being decided. Castro offered to give the girl a ride. She'll be there in 10 minutes and then he'll give her and her daughter a ride to the mall. As soon as Michelle gets behind the trash pickup, Ariel starts talking about his married dog. Maybe they could stop by his place for a minute and then the girl could make her son happy with a cute puppy. Michelle refused at first, but the man assured her that they would have no problem making it everywhere. Ariel pulled up in front of his house. The dog sits on a chain in the gassy yard. According to the owner, the pups are as dirty inside the house as they are in the car and yard. The man lures his guest to the second floor. Letting Michelle in front of him, he immediately slammed the door. The girl understood at once, but could do nothing about it. Ariel quickly tied her with a rubber tourniquet, tightening it around her neck as well. Maniac hit the girl and crushed her glasses. With his pants down, Ariel reported that his wife had left him, so the captive would live with him for a while. He found out that our heroine was 21 years old, and when he discovered the photo, Joey immediately tore it up. To make the prisoner stop crying, the maniac stuffed a sock in her mouth and taped tape over it. He also threatened her with a gun if she tried to escape. Ariel prefabricated a beam on which he suspended his victim and left her in that position. The poor thing saw through the neighbor's window and reared up, but with a little toe tapping, she loosened up and fell silent. In this maximally uncomfortable position, Michelle hung for more than 24 hours. Her mother called the police, but they are not yet going to make any effort to find her. The girl probably just ran away from the hardship. Finally, Ariel stopped the execution and roughly lowered the captive to the floor. Afterwards he poked a burger in her mouth. The girl could not move, so the man dragged her by the legs down the stairs to the basement. There he took advantage of her for the first time and taunted her as if to pay for her services with $12. There, in the basement, Ariel chained the prisoner to a pipe. According to him, everyone really thinks Michelle just ran away. There are no missing person notices on the poles. No one is looking for her. So Ariel can do whatever he wants with her. He put a sock in the girl's mouth again, and put a motorcycle helmet over her head. In the evening, his mommy came to Aurelie's house with food. The man wouldn't let her in, and Michelle was close to getting free. But the kidnapper came back to treat her to her mommy's munchies. The cheerful Ariel is playing in a group with her friends. He justifies his cruelty by saying that he himself was abused by his father when he was young. The girl says that it is not necessary to take revenge on others because of this. What if someone would do the same to his daughter? If Ariel lets her go now, she will not tell anyone anything. Well, let's do that, says Ariel. He took her in his arms, but not to let her go, but to punish her for her impertinence. Michelle now lives upstairs. One day Ariel heard her singing. The musician decides to play along with her on the guitar, and it turns out that the girl composed the lyrics herself. Ariel asks her to compose a song for him too, and she already has one called Beaten. And it talks about what a jerk Ariel is. He himself lives in prison. Only the prison is in his head. The man's brothers came to see him, and they brought his daughter Emily and their nieces. The girl wanted to go to her former room, but her father expressly forbade her to go up there. Michelle started hitting the head of the bed against the wall. It's a dog, Ariel says, and turns the music up to full volume and then suggests that the guests move outside. In the evening it is payback time, and Ariel hits his prisoner hard. Michelle speaks aloud to her son. The man is annoyed by this and he punches the girl in the face again. One day Ariel brings Michelle a puppy. The captive was very happy with such a gift. By the way, Ariel works as a school bus driver. One day he dropped in on Michelle during a break. He forgot to close the lock on the chain. Believing her luck, the girl took the puppy in her arms and quietly went downstairs. Freedom was so close, but it turned out to be a trap. Ariel was waiting for Michelle downstairs and pounced on her and snapped the dog's neck as punishment. Michelle hugged the poor animal's corpse. One evening Ariel lured another young girl into his house. She tried to escape, but the man knocked the poor girl out and took her to the basement. As for Amanda Berry, the whole town is looking for her. It's been 4 weeks since she disappeared. Michelle is throwing up. She realizes she is pregnant. Amanda will now live in Michelle's bedroom. She herself has been moved to the room next door. The maniac deliberately left the door open so she could see everything he would do to his new victim. Michelle says they have to figure out a way to get out of here. But the intimidated girl is afraid to even open her mouth. Another 4 weeks pass. Michelle has been imprisoned for 10 months now. She constantly thinks of her son and strokes her belly. Why are you getting fat in one place? Ariel is indignant. Are you pregnant? I'm not going to let that happen. Ariel went out and came back with dumbbells. Michelle tried to fight back, but still got hit hard in the stomach. You better pray that tomorrow it's gone. In the evening Michelle woke up bleeding. She had had a miscarriage. Ariel needed extra hands to work in the yard, so he gave Michelle a wig and glasses, and took her out into the fresh air for the first time ever. I have a coffin to build. See if you can give me an idea. Michelle tried to get the old neighbor's attention, but he threw a fit and went back to his house. But the girl herself is sure that since the old man saw the chains on her, she will call the police anyway. In the evening she laughs when she hears the police siren. But the cops came here for another reason. An armed Ariel came into the room and ordered her to drill 2 holes in the wall through which he would run a chain. The maniac's neighbor told the cops that she heard a scream coming from his house. But they didn't pay much attention to it and didn't check the building. The news says another young girl, Gina DeJesus, went missing 3 days ago. Of course it was Ariel's doing. He left the girls alone to cut each other's hair and warned them that every window and every door on the alarm they shouldn't be fooled. Afterward, he got Amanda an ice cream in, too. Gina chained herself to Michelle. The girl told how she was kidnapped by Ariel. She's friends with his daughter, so she easily agreed to get in the man's car. The locals held a meeting and on camera appealed to anyone who might have seen Gina lately. Ariel also came and with a sorrowful face expressed support for the mother of the kidnapped girl. Later at home, he mocked his wife herself, showing her mother crying on his chest and then attacking her afterward. Michelle wanted to fight the girl off, but the chain prevented her from doing so. The unfortunate girlfriends do push-ups and have at least some fun to keep from going crazy. The news reports that 3 years after Amanda Berry was kidnapped, her mother passed away. All this time she never stopped looking for her daughter. Joyfully informed the girls that the locks were over from now on. He besieged the prisoners at the dinner table. The enthusiastic maniac informed his friends that Amanda was pregnant. The labor had started prematurely. Ariel threatens that if the baby does not survive, he will shoot Michelle. To drown out the screaming, he turns up the music at full volume, as usual. The resulting Amanda gave birth to her daughter, but she is not breathing. Michelle did her best to get the baby to take her first breath after all. The sickly man immediately took to all of the cuddling. As time passes, the minion Amanda plays the role of Ariel's wife. They raise their daughter together while the other 2 girls remain slaves to pleasure. Joe grows up in an unhealthy atmosphere, and Joey should have turned 14 by now. Ariel has money problems, so he brings Michelle some pizza he found in the trash can. Amanda shared a piece of fresh bread with her. The girl wonders why Aunt Juju and Aunt Chelsea can't go to the park with them and no one should know about them. Ariel gets angry at her daughter and spreads her arms. All 3 girls stood up for her. At night Ariel made Michelle dig a deep hole, and she guessed why? Or maybe the best solution would have been to surrender. Suggests the prisoner to him. Perhaps it would be worth opening your heart to God and trying to make amends. One day Ariel went to his mother's house to get food. The door was left unlocked, and Amanda was not as accustomed as he would have liked. Immediately she started screaming for help. Neighbors rushed to her scream and broke down the door. 10 years later, the girl was free. The police came to the house. The slaves are not worried that it might be a setup. Someone posing as police officers. But within seconds, Michelle was convinced that these people had come to rescue her. Gina also came out to the trenches. The policewoman says she has been looking for her all these 9 years. Michelle can't believe this nightmare is over. She can finally meet her son. The girl has a fever and is seriously ill. At the same time in the hospital, she asks that men not touch her, so only women are left. Later, Michelle appreciates how clean her room is. All the patient cares about is the whereabouts of her son. Unfortunately, Michelle has no relatives to take care of her. Unlike the other girls back home, FBI agent Jackson entered the room. Michelle was incredibly excited to get a cheeseburger, steak, and cottage cheese for dessert from him. But when the man handed her a napkin, the girl was startled and jumped up from it. She thought it was a sock that she kept getting shoved in her mouth. One day Michelle's mother came to see her, but the girl did not want to see her. She can't forgive her mother for not looking for her, but just took off for Florida. A separate pleasure is showering and brushing her teeth. The nurse gave the patient a gift, new glasses. And I thought the world was one blurry blur, Michelle says. She sees Ariel Castro on television. It's time to be discharged from the hospital. The nurse became a close friend to Michelle and gave her a cross as a parting gift as well. Solanu's agent helped her avoid a meeting with journalists. The girl admires the city at night. She was put up in a nice hotel room. Michelle is still waiting for news from the adoption agency. She sees Gina occasionally, but her friend says she has to live a normal life and won't see her anymore. At least not right now. I love you, I love you. Agent Solana finds out that Joey was adopted when he was 4 years old, and his adoptive parents decided it was best for him not to see Michelle. It would keep him from worrying too much. The girl can't even get a picture of him. However, Michelle does have the opportunity to challenge the adoption in court. But she chooses not to. After all, the important thing is that her son is happy and she doesn't want to ruin his life. But she is determined to go to court and testify. The news reports say that she is an incredibly courageous woman. In court, Michelle tells the court what a hell she has lived in these past 11 years and that she hardly had any hope because no one was even looking for her. But if her hell is over, it's just beginning. He doesn't deserve the death penalty, he should get a life sentence. Ariel Castro was sentenced to 1,000 years in prison. But he hanged himself a month after his sentencing. Michelle wrote a book, Memories of the Experience, and it became a bestseller. The woman is studying cooking and enjoying her new and free life.